Hi Ethan, how are you doing?
Not bad, you?
I'm doing great.
Good.
So, I guess I'll start off just by summarizing what we talked about last week.
Yep.
So, we talked about your three goals. The first one being like having a good relationship with your girlfriend. We also talked about you being efficient at work and at daily tasks. And the third goal was keeping clean from nicotine and cannabis.
Yes, sir.
And we talked about how physical activity could like help benefit those goals. Some of the things we mentioned was like you swimming or walking, and you seem like really motivated. It's like I think you said you're 8 out of 10.
8 out of 10.
Motivated for being physically active. So you seem motivated. So I think today we might try to implement a plan if that sounds good to you.
Yeah, perfect.
For something you could do maybe a couple times a week.
That's what I'm here for, man.
So how have things been this week?
Not bad. I was working night shift this week, so
Okay.
a little tired, but other than that,
Yeah.
decent, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Work was all right.
Work was good.
Yeah.
Work was good. Barely work, I would say.
Good. Good. It wasn't too stressful
No,
or
no.
nothing too stressful this
Not
week.
at all. No. Very
That's
nice.
great. That's
Very
great.
nice. Steady, but look good.
Okay, good. So, how have things been with your girlfriend and your other goals? Like, have you kept clean from nicotine and cannabis this
Yeah.
week as well? Yeah.
Yeah, oh yeah. I haven't touched cannabis, haven't touched nicotine, no cigarettes, nothing like that. Life with the girl's going great.
Yeah.
Me and the wife are doing fantastic, yeah.
That's great. That's great. And are these goals that you're still like thinking about keeping? Like, you're still
Yeah.
your main goals, you'd say?
I would say so.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. And how have you been feeling since you like kept clean from nicotine and cannabis?
Like I said last time, real good.
Yeah.
Real good. A lot less, my mind's a lot less cloudy. I feel like I'm a bit more straight edge. I can think a little easier, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Kind of, like I said, it gives me a lot more motivation to do things.
Yeah.
Around, you know?
Yeah. And have you thought about doing like any or thought about like more about doing physical activity this week?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, since our last little meeting there, I've been ruminating on things that maybe I could get into or get back into.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know.
Could you enlighten me on like what you've been thinking about doing for?
Yeah.
physical
Well,
activity?
I'm thinking a lot about going back and getting like a gym membership at the NAV Center back home, which is just they got like a pool, they got a gymnasium, they have an actual. You know, like a gym with like actual machines and whatnot. So you know, it's kind of like just a big, it's a big complex.
Okay.
You pretty much get everything you want. They have a sauna, everything.
Oh, that
you know
sounds
what I mean?
great.
So and it's cheaper than most other gyms, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking real hard about getting back into there. Maybe get some swimming done this winter, especially because it's indoor.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah.
That's great that you're thinking about that. Is it pretty close to your house? Would you say? Is it pretty easy to get to?
It's pretty cool. I would say the reason why I like the location of the NAB Center is because it's like right next to my work. So it's like I could go before or after work if I really wanted to. Or, you know, while I'm already in town, I can stop by. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Oh, that sounds great. So, thought about getting a gym membership. And is it something you've already had as a gym membership?
Yeah, like I said, when I was doing a lot of swimming, after I quit competitive swimming in high school, I started going to that center to just swim more and stuff like that. It's just I got rid of my gym membership when I moved to Ottawa, and then I just haven't really thought about it since until our consultation.
Oh, that's great. And let's say if you were to get like a gym membership, how many days a week do you think you'd want to go?
I would say minimum of 3.
Minimum 3?
Maybe twice during the week, once during the weekend, or you know, like try to give myself, because I know it's good to give yourself like a day off in between workouts or whatnot, just so you're not overworking yourself.
Right.
And if I'm wrong, correct me. But
no, you got that for sure. And also something that's important is when you set a goal for yourself, you don't want to set it too high.
Yeah.
So it's like not achievable, and that'll just kind of demotivate you.
Exactly.
So I think like starting off with maybe like 2 or 3 times a week is enough to like, if you miss a day, you're not gonna beat yourself up about it.
That's pretty ideal.
Yeah. 2 to 3 times a week sounds pretty realistic to your schedule right now.
I would say so.
Yeah. And what days during the week do you have the most time? Would you say? Like weekends?
I would say that it would definitely be weekends that I have the most time, but it definitely depends on like what shift I'm working.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
During that week, but even then, it's only like they're only 8-hour shifts, so it's really just like whenever I would like any day would work during the week, whether it's before or after work.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Okay. So before or after work?
Before or after work, but I would say there's no day that's better than the other.
Okay.
You know.
So I think last time you mentioned about you do overtime sometimes.
Yeah.
And that could be up to like 16 hours.
Yeah.
Is that on specific days or is it?
No, that's
No?
just more of like a call-in sort of thing.
Okay.
That's like it's most of the time overtime's kind of last minute, so they'll call you maybe the day of or the day before. Hey, you want to do some overtime tonight or do some overtime tomorrow?
Right.
You know what I mean?
So it's like on call essentially.
Yeah, it's on call, or if you're lucky, sometimes they'll. Let's say one of your mates is taking a week off, and they'll call you the week before. Hey, do you want to do some overtime next week?
Yeah.
And that's
okay.
that's probably my favorite way to do it, just because then I have a set schedule. For
Yeah. And how long are the overtime shifts normally?
You can either take an extra 4 hours or an extra 8 hours, so they're from 12 hours to 16 hours straight.
12 hours. Wow. And do you get additional breaks with them as well?
Yeah, you get additional breaks.
Okay.
They also give you lunch money for it too, over the overtime money.
Okay.
So I get $15 for lunch.
Wow.
If you want to order takeout or do whatever, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's good. And how do you feel on days that you have overtime? Would you say like?
Honestly, when I'm doing something like a 16-hour shift, I'll be straight with you. I shut my brain off there. It's like lights on, no one's home. I don't even look at the clocks, man. I'm just getting through it. You know what I mean?
I'm going through the motion.
It gets long. Not that I don't like my job, but doing something for 16 hours straight, pretty much anything would be a bit of a, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I bet you feel pretty like mentally and physically exhausted
Afterward, oh yeah, it's
yeah.
straight to bed.
Straight to bed, days like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I guess days like that, like you're not even thinking about like doing physical activity.
Probably not, but I would say
Yeah.
like I get enough physical activity done at work
Yeah.
during those 16 hours, you know what I mean? So
Because you're mainly standing, right?
standing, walking around, doing stuff, yeah.
Okay. So and how often do you say that you get opportunities to do overtime a week? Like is it
I would say like I try to get them once a week.
once a week?
least,
Okay.
Just because after 16 hours, no, sorry, after 12 hours of overtime, you're taxed pretty heavily on it, so there's not much of a point of doing more than 12.
Okay.
So it's like if you get 4 hours, like an extra 4 hours, then 8 hours the next day, or like 2 extra 4 hours, that's all you really need. You know what I mean?
Right.
Yeah.
So if you're just, so you said you're doing it usually about one time a week.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't really be like a, do you see it being like a huge barrier to being physically active?
No,
It's
not
just-
at all.
yeah.
I just say maybe during that one day, it's I say if I'm doing, usually what I like to do for either do it on a Monday or Friday, so that's either at the start of my week, I can get it over with.
So you said that you usually do overtime on Mondays or Fridays just to get out of the way. That sounds great to me. So let's get back into this goal that you're talking about, the gym membership. So you're mentioning like maybe like swimming there or like doing weightlifting or doing some sort of machine work.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe because I know like swimming is mostly like it's like a full body workout. You know what I mean? It's good for cardio too.
For sure.
So I'd say probably I do a lot of swimming for like my cardio more, and then if I maybe do like 2 or 3 days a week of like weightlifting, and then maybe one day for swimming on cardio, because like maybe it's like I can keep swimming's something that I still really love. So it's like maybe if I motivate myself by saying like, okay, if I do 2 or 3 days of weightlifting, and then at the end of the week I get to do my swimming, it's like something to look forward to.
Like a reward.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay,
Like
that sounds great to me. And also, I remember last week you mentioned that your girlfriend, she goes to the gym.
Yeah.
And that's something you guys can maybe do together, and she can help you out.
100%, absolutely.
Teach you the ropes about exercises and whatnot. Yeah. So you mentioned, so like gym twice a week I think is a good place to start at.
Yeah.
You don't want to overdo it.
Yeah.
Especially if you're working a lot, right? You don't want that like affecting your your fatigue. You don't want to be like too fatigued at work from doing too much.
Yeah.
And yeah, swimming once a week, so it'd be after maybe your workouts at the gym? Like your like a different day sort of?
Yeah, well I was thinking maybe doing swimming like on the weekends or something like that.
Okay.
So weightlifting during the week, swimming on the weekend or something like that, or you know what I mean? Or even then, like maybe if I have like an overtime shift and I'm feeling kind of I really want to do it, just hop in the pool, do a couple laps.
Just clear your mind.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean?
And what sort of duration are you thinking about here for these? Like how long would you?
I'd say like a clean workout for me is like, I'm like a heavy believer in like, probably like trying to minimize the amount of machines that I'm going on. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I feel like doing like 3 different leg workouts for like the same muscle is a little much, right? So it's like you want to pick like one machine for each muscle, and then like go. So I'd say like maybe 45 minutes to an hour. 45 minutes to an hour. Keep it efficient, keep it clean. Yeah. You know, you don't need to be there for like 6 hours. I'm not a bodybuilder, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, just kind of get in, get your work done, get out, move on to the rest of your day. Right? Exactly. Yeah. That's a great duration. 45 minutes, usually that's kind of sweet spot, 45 minutes to an hour. Minutes, yeah, because if you start doing more than that, then like your muscles are you're getting muscle soreness, right? That could linger for a few days. Yeah. It can affect your work, it affects other goals, slow you down a little bit. So yeah, that sounds good to me. And swimming, how long do you think you'd be doing that for? I'd say probably swimming would be like probably a little bit less, maybe like half an hour to 45 minutes. Yeah. You know what I mean? Just because I find swimming is like, unlike a machine, it's more of just like a constant, you know? Yeah. You're doing like if you're doing 100 meters, 200 meters, you know what I mean? You're just going. You're just going. And you can take like maybe a minute break in between, but it's, you know? Yeah, it's kind of constant cardio. Yeah, get a couple different heats in there, you know what I'm saying? Do some backstrokes, some front crawl. Yeah, that sounds great. That's something you used to enjoy, you said, is swimming, so exactly. That's a great idea. And the gym, is it like 24 hours, or does it have like... I believe so. 24 hours? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So I'm thinking about like on weeks where you're working like night shifts. Yeah, exactly. It could be, if it's not 24 hours, it could be hard to get in. Yeah. So yeah, with 24 hours, that'd be great. Yeah. So I'll put that down here too. Because mind you, it's like a whole... The NAV Center is like a whole thing. It's like a hotel. It's is that right? Yeah, it's like big. They used to train. It used to be a building to train. You know, like the towers there for airports, the traffic control towers. That's what you used to train at NAV Center for that. All right. So it's like a whole facility. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know. You had to train for that job. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. It's like a college program almost. That's what they use that for. Okay. Yeah, it's interesting. So can you think of any ways that you can make like going to the gym enjoyable for yourself, like to help keep you motivated to do it? Yeah, probably. I mean, like I really like listening to music, man. I love music. I love music, so I'd say like headphones or earbuds are a must. Right. Absolutely a must. Yeah, I don't really know much other than that. I like listening to music a lot, and maybe just like, I'm not gonna lie to you, after a good workout there, when your muscles are feeling nice and tight, I feel like that's a reward in itself. For the pump? Yeah, the pump. I feel like that's enough of a reward. Seeing your muscles nice and swollen. Oh yeah. So it sounds like some sort of like stimulus. So like whether it's music, you said. Yeah. Also like caffeine. Does that help? Are you a big caffeine guy? I wouldn't say I'm a big caffeine guy. I like maybe a coffee in the morning with the wife, but other than that, you know what I mean? Probably try to keep it. You know what I mean? Like I'd say like maybe just hop in the pool, get your blood flowing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Go for a workout, something like that. I don't know. Yeah. You don't even need to do a lap. Just kind of. Yeah, just kind of like that cold water. Quick, you know what I mean? Yeah. And do you see yourself like going to the gym like before or after work primarily? Like. I would probably say like after work. After maybe work, like rest a bit. You know what I mean? Yeah. I feel like I like to keep my days kind of open in the morning just to spend time with the wife. You know, and go to work, and then I probably do that like after work, maybe get 45 to an hour in, and just go ham, and then. Yeah. Because I remember last time we were talking about I had trouble sleeping sometimes, so maybe it's just that could be my like a routine to decompress after work. Yeah, you know? For sure. And it's also like being physically tired also is a huge thing when it comes to falling asleep. Yeah, especially if you have a night where like like this week we had 1 or 2 nights where like not much got done. Like it was just night shift. It's slow. You know what I mean? So yeah, exactly. Maybe hitting the gym afterward would help you out. Help me out. One thing I would just say is I wouldn't do it like right before bed. I'd kind of leave like maybe an hour and a half. Yeah. So you're done like an hour and a half, and you get to go home, kind of compress, relax a little bit. Because all the adrenaline from working out could keep you up at night. Yeah, I guess so. That's the one thing I'd say. Maybe keep the routine of like reading before bed after. Something like that. Go to the gym, read a nice bit of a book. Yeah. Hit the hay. Yeah, is that something you're still doing? Is reading? Absolutely. Yeah, it's great. It's great. And that's still like helping you is that helping you with your sleep? It helps me with my sleep, helps me keep clean. You know what I mean? Just something to do when I'm bored.
Kind of fills that time.
Yeah,
or
exactly.
You fill it with cannabis or some
Yeah,
stimulant.
instead of doing substances, just
Yeah.
read or something, or you know
That's
what I
great.
mean. Try to stay off the phone too. The best. I know that blue light's not good for sleep. But,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. We usually try to say like cut the blue lights out like half an hour before bed.
Yeah,
For sure.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's great. Good for you. So we'll move on to, do you see any barriers that could inhibit you from going to the gym? Like in your weekly life?
Probably other than just like, honestly, like barriers isn't like not being able to get there or, you know, like I don't see something that would like physically stop me from going. It's probably just more of things like we were talking about last time, like lack of self-control or maybe lack of self-confidence, you know, but
Okay.
even then maybe like if I have my girlfriend with me or if I'm like got my music in or if I'm like going to the pool, it's something I actually like doing, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's like I'm confident in the pool, I know what I'm doing,
Yeah.
I like it, you know, so I would say not really, no, other than like maybe just like a few mental hurdles.
Yeah. So if those are your main barriers, maybe to help you like kind of stick to this goal, maybe like be best to start with the swimming.
Yeah.
Since like you already feel confident in like swimming in like that
Yeah.
area, and then kind of do that as your primary workout, and then slowly incorporate like the gym.
Yeah, okay.
With this, like build that confidence first with
Yeah.
physical activity, then incorporate that stuff that's a little more challenging and
I
hard
got
for you.
Yeah,
Yeah?
Yeah,
Does that sound
100%.
alright? Does that sound something like
I agree,
be
yeah.
feasible? Yeah? Okay. So, also last week you mentioned to me that something else that you enjoyed was just like going for hikes
Yeah.
or going for walks in the bush.
Yeah. Love being out in nature. You know?
Yeah. So I know it's like it's winter right now, obviously it's kind of like getting a little cold.
Yeah.
I don't know how much hiking you're doing at the moment. Probably.
I would say not as much as in the fall. I find just prime time for hunting, hiking.
Yeah.
I would say absolutely. But the nice thing about the winter is that it's prime hunting season right now. It's
Yeah.
deer season. It's all sorts. So there's lots of. I say there's still lots of reasons to get out in the bush.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'd say maybe hiking not as much, but at prep time, you know what I mean, going out.
Yeah. So is that starting now, like the setup for hunting and all that?
That's over.
Oh, it's over?
It's like middle of hunting season right
Okay.
now. Yeah. So.
Is that something you see yourself doing this?
Yeah,
This winter? Yeah.
100%.
Yeah?
It's up until about probably the beginning of February, end of January.
Okay.
It ends. So
Okay.
yeah, it'll be good. Getting out to the forest with dad and my father.
Yeah. That sounds awesome. So I don't do much hunting myself. So like, can you feel like is it a lot of like physical activity? Would you say?
Yeah, I would say so. Like I said last time, a lot of prep. A lot of it is just getting to your spot. You know what I mean? And sometimes your spot could be 3 kilometers into the bush. You know what I'm saying? Or somewhere into a field. So I'd say it's definitely physical activity. You know what I mean? Walking, kind of having like you got a big pack with all your stuff. You got to carry your gun, which is heavy enough. It's not like I wouldn't say a burden, but it's still something weighing you down. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I'd say most of the places we hunt is a solid. I would say a minimum of 1 kilometer.
All right. I guess it's like kind of like walk away from civilization
Yeah,
to
you
a
gotta
certain
get
degree.
somewhere
Right?
quiet. You know what I mean? Somewhere quiet, somewhere a little secluded, and you also you're not allowed to. You can't hunt in a heavily densely populated area. You know what I mean?
For sure.
You know what
I
I
can
mean?
see that being a little
You
dangerous.
don't want to be shooting off in the middle of Ottawa. You know?
No.
No, it'd be
No,
rough.
you don't want to be one of those people.
No.
So once you get to your spots, like your hunting spots, are you sitting down for the rest of the period?
I would say 100%.
Yeah.
You're sitting down. You're trying to be as quiet as possible.
Okay.
You're chilling. You're kind of just communing with nature. So I'd say like once you get to your spot, it's not a lot of physical activity. It's more of a mental task of just trying to, you know what I mean, calm yourself down, slow your breathing, be acutely aware of everything that's going on around you. But I would say mostly like during the actual hunting, not a lot of physical activity. But let's say you do shoot an animal, like a deer, for example, you gotta go track it down after, right?
Yeah.
Run it off. So that's Lord knows how far it could go. You know?
Yeah, I guess so. They can go for, I guess, kilometers.
It could go for it could go for a while before it drops.
And when you're tracking them, are you just walking behind them, or do you run ever?
I wouldn't say there's not much of a point in running, just because of how much faster they are than you. Like most animals will outrun you no matter what. So like a lot of it is you're looking down for either like hoof prints in the dirt or scattered leaves in certain places. And if you're lucky, there'll probably be a lot of blood.
Right.
Follow the blood. You
Right.
know what I mean? A lot of
Okay.
times when you walk in.
So you're kind of trying to go as slow as possible to examine everything.
Yeah,
in
you're
tracks.
trying to get as much insight into where this animal had gone, and like if you're lucky, it dropped like less than 100 yards away. You know what I mean? But if
Yeah.
you're unlucky, that guy he can go. They'll go until they drop. You know what I mean?
Right. And so, could you see yourself doing like, say, like one hunting trip? Like, would it be between like 3 kilometers, like to?
Oh, I would say like
What's about the average?
I would say like the average hunting trip is probably like 5, closer.
All right.
Closer
Wow.
to 5. And that's probably if you didn't. That's probably if you didn't shoot something. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so that's a lot.
It's a lot.
of
It's enough.
activity.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
whole day thing. You know?
Yeah.
Like, it's not just. Yeah, it's something.
So you're pretty well out from like dawn to sunset.
You're only allowed to shoot while the sun's in the air. It's
Okay.
30 minutes after sunrise, 30 minutes before sundown.
Okay. And typically, are you out for that whole period?
I'd say so.
Yeah.
Especially during the winter where days are quite shorter.
Yeah.
Like the sun goes down, like I'd say about like 4 o'clock.
Yeah, so you're looking at like 8 hours of sunlight, I guess.
If that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, a good day, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. So is this something that like, you see yourself, like how confident would you say from like 0 to 10? Like 10 being like super confident, 0 being not at all.
10.
In hunting?
Like, especially
Yeah.
like we do a lot of group hunting, so even then I'd say like I've got my brother and my dad who I would say I'm an experienced hunter. They are 10 times more experienced than I am. So
Right.
I've got some lads with me that know what they're doing.
Yeah.
You know?
That's great. So you're 10 out of 10. So I guess it's something you plan on doing this
Yeah,
winter for sure.
Absolutely. It's
Okay.
already something I've done, so
Yeah.
we're good to go. Yeah.
And how often do you do it?
Probably say like maybe like once every 2 weeks or something like
Once every
that.
2 weeks?
Just because of
Okay.
my other obligations, work and stuff like that. I can't really take much time off, so it's more of a weekend thing. But
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, it's quite the time commitment. If you're out there all day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Is this something that your girlfriend's interested in at all?
I would say she's interested in it, but more of just the bounty. Whenever
Okay.
I bring home, you know.
Right.
I don't think she'd go out with me, but I think yeah, I do collect the bones for her. You know
Okay.
what I'm saying? Yeah.
So do you see like would that like kind of take away from your time with your girlfriend on weekends?
I would say so, but even then, like my girlfriend works on Saturdays.
Okay.
So it's more of a Saturday or Friday thing for me, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? So it's like even if I do go, my girl's at work anyway, so
So it's not taking away
yeah,
from
it's
that.
not really.
Okay.
You know, it's time to myself. I've got it anyway.
Okay, perfect. And so you said you do this with like your father and brother normally,
Oh
eh?
yeah. And I've got like an uncle too, and some cousins and whatnot. So there's like a nice big group of us. But I'd say like my father and my brother, because I live with them, right?
Yes.
Probably I'm most likely to go with them, and then most of the time either our uncle or cousins will come meet us at the place if they're coming.
So you're normally going with someone.
It's a big group. It's a big group, yeah.
Okay.
You don't usually hunt alone, especially. It's you got way higher chances of bagging like some bounty there with more people.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you, but eating a full deer is it's hard to do.
It's a job on its own.
It's hard to do, so it's better to have people to kind of like share out the spoils.
Yeah, that makes sense. And once you do catch something, are you carving it up there and skinning it and all that, or?
So you gotta first thing you do, let's say you shoot a deer, you gut it immediately, because if you don't, it starts to rot. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So you gotta gut it, you gotta bleed it kind of, and then you're dragging it back to wherever you came from, like you're grabbing it by the antlers and you're dragging it that 2 kilometers back to your truck or your camp or whatever, you know what I mean?
God.
So yeah, and especially like sometimes, it's not all the time, but let's say you get like a 10-point buck. It's probably going to be like 250, 300 pounds, like big deal, right? So it's like one guy, one boy, you got one guy on each side dragging the antlers, and that's what you do, you get it through.
Yeah, that sounds like a lot of work.
It's something, man.
Yeah.
It's a workout in itself.
So would you say, like, overall, is it, like, on intensity scale, is it like a pretty moderate, like, I guess at times it could be high intensity?
Yeah.
Was it pretty moderate amount?
I would say, Yeah, I would call it moderate.
Or low?
I would definitely say, like average intensity.
Yeah.
I don't really know,
kind of like valleys and peaks.
Yeah, exactly. Right? There's definitely times where you're just chilling, but there's definitely times where you're breathing heavy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Getting through it. So
For sure. So I'll just ask you this. So I set 3 goals for you here, or for activity goals after what you talked about. So I put down, gym is something you're thinking about doing. I wrote down twice a week, but would you rather, what works best for you, doing the gym more or swimming more? Like, what would you feel like would
I
be
think I
best
like your
for you?
idea a lot about maybe starting off with the swimming. So maybe do swimming like twice a week and then gym once.
Once a week, sort of
And then-
swap those?
And then we can flip it around once I get a little bit more confident
Yeah.
in the gym, you know?
Yeah, that sounds great. Kind of get your bearings in the gym first.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah.
Get my routine going.
Yeah. And is that like something you've mentioned to your girlfriend is going to the gym
Yeah,
up there?
absolutely.
And
Absolutely.
she's totally into it?
She loves it. She loves the idea.
Sounds great. So we got you down, gym once a week, and you said it'd probably be like before or after shifts.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And for about 45 minutes to an hour?
45
duration?
minutes to an hour, and then swimming probably like 30 minutes to 45.
Yeah. And how confident do you feel about achieving these?
I feel like it's very doable.
Yeah?
Like, I'm very confident that it can be done.
And is it something you could see yourself doing like long term?
Absolutely.
Yeah?
100%.
Okay, great.
I feel like as soon as I get into a routine, I feel like it's almost harder to break that routine than to, you know, I feel like it's harder to break the routine than like not. You know?
Yeah. It's just kind of starting the routine.
Exactly. It's just getting into it, which will be the hard part. But I feel as though if I have with my support that I have, I'll be fine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's great. Your support, your family, and your
Family,
girlfriend.
friends, yeah.
Yeah, perfect. So I'll just kind of repeat what I have here. So I have gym once a week, 45 to an hour, swimming twice a week on weekends or before or after work for 30 to 45 minutes, and hunting once every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
That sounds doable
if
to
you
you?
wanted to, you could do like hiking. You could put in like, actually, like if you want, you could throw in hiking there. So that'd probably be like once a week.
I think hiking would be there too?
Hiking and hunting, maybe put a slash in between.
Kind of combined?
Yeah, it could
Okay.
be like once a week, you know what I mean? Because like I said, like hunting, there's a lot of prep, so you're gonna be doing some hiking through the woods. You're gonna be trekking through the woods quite a bit.
For
So
sure.
I'd say you could probably put that to once a week.
Once a week? Okay.
If you
great.
had the hiking.
And these seem pretty manageable
Yeah.
for you to start off with? To
Yeah.
kind of build that routine, and
Absolutely.
obviously if it gets too easier, you know, obviously progress it, and we can talk about that more. And so I wrote down a couple of barriers that you mentioned you could have. I said overtime being one.
Yeah.
Because you kind of feel like pretty tired afterwards. You don't really want to
Yeah.
do physical activity. Totally get it. Also, I wrote down gym hours. We're not too sure if it's 24 hours or
we'll get back
time.
to that.
Yeah, I figured that one out. And I wrote down like just confidence in the gym, like being comfortable.
Exactly.
Is there anything else you can think of?
I don't think so.
Like work maybe, or your like stress levels or sleep?
I'd say I don't really get too stressed out these days.
No?
I've still got like enough on my plate, but I feel very level-headed these days,
Yeah.
especially without all the substances in my life. You
That's
know
great.
what I mean? Yeah.
That's great. So good. So maybe would time be a problem for you at all, or
I don't think so.
no? So you're good time, good stress. Okay, great. And so you said your girlfriend and your family are the main people that would help you achieve these goals.
Made sports.
And how do they help you? Like what sort of like support? Like is it just them doing the activity with you? Is that the
Maybe
support?
doing the activity with me. A lot of the times, like for example, I had to get like a caliper fixed on my car this week, and it's like my mother let me use her car for the day instead. You know, stuff like that.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Or if I'm tired at work, my girlfriend's place is like way closer to my work than my parents' place, so it's like she lets me crash there, sleep over, do whatever.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Not only that, like my girlfriend makes me like food for work almost every day.
Okay.
So like makes me lunch or whatever. So I'd say that's a big help. That's definitely support.
That's great. How do you think that they could help you with the physical activity goals that we set you here specifically?
I would just say like, you know what I mean? Like probably in the same way that I just said, probably either just doing them with me or just, like I said, like my girlfriend makes food for me or whatever. So you know what I mean? Like probably just, like they would kind of like share out they would kind of share like the workload of it with me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Sounds great. So Yeah, so your physical or your support is from your girlfriend and family, and they help you by like doing the activity with you, or by like sharing the support, like helping like kind of take the all like I guess the stress or pressure off you and kind of share it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Okay. Sounds great. So I think this was a great session. Like we set down some 3 goals for you to try this week and for the future. And so you said you feel pretty confident about completing these for the week and for the future.
Absolutely.
Yeah. All right. That sounds great to me.
It was fantastic.
Well, thanks for coming in again.
Anytime.
Good luck in the future.
I will. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care.